Hello, friends. I'm so glad you're here. So, like we were just talking about, we're going to focus on twists with the idea of twisting through so that everything you twist up exits, allowing you to let it go. And twists are fairly intense. So, also not letting go like I'm going to just ignore something, but letting go as in I'm going to acknowledge it and I'm going to recognize what's going on. And then I am going to let go of that which no longer serves me, that's not going to help me going forward. And also, it's not going to help anybody else that's not helping us. So remembering that whenever you're serving yourself, you're also serving the people that you love and the people that you interact with. So don't lose sight of that. So we're going to start in a seated position. So place whatever leg you'd like in front in Sukhasana. If Sukhasana tends to be uncomfortable, you could just, crisscross applesauce your legs. However, Sukhasana might give you a more firm base here. And then allow your eyes to close. And then find a little bit of a sway from left to right, front to back. And just notice where your body is pressing down onto your mat. Notice if you're holding onto any tension anywhere in particular, like holding your knees up or your jaw clenching, muscles around your eyes. And find the place where you think you're just about balanced in the center. Drag your shoulders up towards your ears, draw them back behind you, and then just glide your shoulder blades along each other. Your hands might come a little higher up on your thighs as you do so. Maybe once more like that. Inhale, bring your shoulders up real high. Give yourself a really short neck. Squeeze back and then release back. Sit up a little bit taller in your inhales and ground down through your exhales. Allow your breath to become fuller. And your exhale is even more deep than the breath you took in. Bring your palms together, Anjali Mudra, thumbs to your sternum. Palms together. And as you breathe, feel your chest press into your thumbs pressing right back to you. And imagine that all you breathe, all that your heart gives, your hands are able to offer out to yourself and to others. The idea of manifesting what you cultivate. And then bring your thoughts to the dedication that you've set. Perhaps it is about acknowledging and letting go, or something else that better suits you at this time. We're going to take a few breaths together. Deep breath in. Exhale to release. Another deep inhale. Exhale, let go. And then once more on your own for yourself. Bow your head to your hands. Release your hands to your lap. Lift up your head and blink open your eyes. We're going to start with twists. So just easy seated twists here first. So on an inhale, reach your arms out and up, send your chin up. And then on an exhale, twist to your left, right hand to your left thigh, left fingertips behind you. Shift the weight a little over to the right hip, lift a little higher on your inhale, exhale, twist again. Even as you're here, see if you can start to bring your shoulder blades together. And then if it feels comfortable on your neck, start to bring your chin over to left, noticing if you're sending your chin upward, and try to keep it in its natural position of facing forward. On your next inhale, take your gaze back to the front of the room. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, twist to the other side. Again, this time you're going to shift your weight just a little bit more to the left, so you've got equal weight or equaler weight between your sitting bones. Shrugging your shoulders back. Sending your chin even over to the side toward the right. Noticing if the chin starts to point up, just draw it down slightly. Maybe even send your eyeballs to the right side of your eye sockets. All right, take your chin back to center. Inhale, arms up, send your gaze up. And then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. You're going to come onto your back, or not onto your back, rather. You're going to bend your knees. We're going to come into a Navasana pose. So not quite on your back. So take your hands to the backs of your thighs And then lift up your shins. You can stay right here if you'd like, or if you want to move in with this, this idea of twisting, we're going to do that even with our Navasana, Ardha Navasana. And if you're looking at me touching my legs, it's because I've got cat hair everywhere, which is really unfortunate. So on an inhale, you're going to reach your legs out, lower back, your heels hover, your shoulder blades covered. Bring your hands together, cross at your thumbs. On an exhale, pull your knees to left, arms over to the right. Try to keep your right knee in line with the left. Inhale, come back to Ardha Navasana, lower but hover. Exhale, knees to right, arms to left. Inhale, lower. Exhale, take this twist to the right, squeeze your knees toward each other. Inhale, lower. Exhale to the other side. Twice more each side. Maybe you can even get your tricep to the outside of your thigh. All right, and then after that last time, release your feet to the mat, take your hands to the backs of your thighs, and then roll your back all the way to the mat. So this time you're on your back. We're gonna take some bridge flow here. So walk your heels a little bit closer into you, arms alongside your body. Make sure that you create space underneath you so you've got broad collarbones. So you might need to press your hips and the top of your head so you can slide your collarbones back down. So press through your feet. On an inhale, lift up your hips, reach your arms up and back. Backs of palms and touch the mat behind you, lift up your heels. And then on an exhale, weight yourself all the way back down. Your hands come back, your heels come back as well. 2 more times like that. Deep inhale. And then exhale, lower all the way. Once more like that. Exhale, lower. Pull your right knee in, extend your left leg out in front of you. We're going to take a supine twist. So draw the knee across your body. Right arm out to the side if that is comfortable for you, just as a counterbalance. And then, of course, only if it feels okay on your neck, send your gaze over to the right. If you're looking for a little bit more, remember this might be good for you, just check it out. Left hand to the right thigh and just gently press down. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center, right leg comes out, pull your left knee in, and then take the twist in the opposite direction. Again, option to have a little bit of pressure, right hand to the left thigh. And see if you can get your left shoulder blade onto the mat. Some people are really flexy here, and then your shoulder blade and your knee can be to the mat. I'm not one of those people, so do not look at me for a demo of that. All right, take your head and knee back to center. Pull both knees in towards your chest. Rock up and down the length of your spine. We're gonna seek a little bit of momentum. Again, a little bit of this idea of working things up. You're gonna come all the way to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Maybe you get enough momentum. You can do so without taking your hands to the mat, or maybe you just need a couple steps in order to get there. And then come to your forward fold to top of mat. If rocking up and down is not good for you, find another way to get there. So first come to your forward fold. We're going to take 3 halfway lifts. On a breath in, press your fingertips to the mat or your shins. Look out, low belly strong. Exhale, take your chest to your thighs. Release all the way down, even the crown of your head points down. Inhale, way that long. Your legs do not have to be straight for any of this. Exhale, take it all the way forward, especially if you've been doing a lot of squats, it might be a little uncomfortable. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands to your hips, point your elbows up, roll your shoulder blades back onto your back, chin out. Inhale, come up to standing. And then on an exhale, bring your hands alongside your body. On an inhale, bring your palms up, send your chin upward, upward prayer. Exhale, forward fold, lead with your heart. Take it all the way down, release your hands. On a breath in, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, step back to the top of a plank pose. And then knees up or knees down. Lower all the way down to your mat. Untuck your toes. We're going to stay in a cobra pose for several breaths. So roll your shoulder blades back. Inhale, lift up, flare through your toes. Press down through your all of your toenails. Point your elbows straight back. And then without moving your hands, drag your hands back and notice how you might kind of propel yourself forward a bit. Continue to bring your shoulder blades toward each other. Long, slow breaths. And then on your next exhale, release all the way down to the mat. Tuck your toes and then either press up the hands and knees or through chaturanga, make your way back to downward facing dog. So first downward facing dog of this class. Take a little bit of movement if you need, or perhaps finding stillness is going to be what's best for you. Take a little bend to your knees and then walk your hands one handprint closer to you. So you're in a shorter downward facing dog. Take your right hand to your left thigh, calf, or ankle for yet another twist. You might start to re-straighten your legs here. Just make sure you're pulling your left hip back. So you've got your hips relatively square, and you might find that you can start to pull your torso underneath you, looking up beyond your left armpit. All right, place your right hand in the same plane as your left. Bend your knees as much as you need. Left hand across to the right thigh, calf, or ankle. This time, right hip is drawing back. Hide your heels behind your toes. Notice if your heels are starting to come toward each other. Taking the path of least resistance. Continue to breathe, even in this twisted pose. And then release your left hand back where the other one was. Walk your hands back that handprint distance to your downward facing dog. On an inhale, rise to your toes, come to the top of a plank pose, and then come down to your forearms. So you're in a forearm plank. You can have your hands, your forearms parallel to each other. If that is not working for your shoulders today, then you can interlace your fingertips. If your forearms are down and they're parallel, just make sure your fingers are spread wide. Low belly in. Press back through your heels. Focus on the exhales because the inhale is going to happen anyway. Always feel free to drop your knees. And then when you're ready, press your right hand and then your left hand, press up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. Bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or hop all the way to the top, forward fold. One time, inhale, halfway lift, look out, exhale, fold. This time, reverse swan dive, press through your feet, take your arms out and upwards, and your gaze up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands to your heart center, and then arms alongside your body. Tadasana, 3 breaths. When you're ready, on an inhale, hands lift, chin goes up, upward prayer. Exhale, forward fold. Release all the way down, breath in. Offer your heart out. Exhale, offer it back to yourself. Step back to top of plank pose. On an exhale, lower to or towards your mat. Untuck your toes for the back bend of your choice. Maybe this is another cobra. Maybe you prefer down dog, upward facing dog. And then on an exhale, downward facing dog. Take a very deep breath in and a very full exhale. Next inhale, right leg comes up and back. On an exhale, take your knee across your body to the left tricep, finding this twist here. Inhale, come up and back. Second time, exhale, take your knee towards your left elbow, maybe even tricep, lift your hips up way high. Inhale, up and back. Third time's a charm. Pull it forward. Make sure you're pressing through both hands equally. Inhale, up and back, and this time place your foot between your hands on an right next to your right thumb. Angle your left foot down like warrior two rather, but we're going to move into a down dog warrior hybrid. So take your torso and your arms out at an angle. Your lower body is in warrior two. Arms spread out long. You might choose to come up on the finger pads, inner elbows, reach forward. It's okay if your bum sticks out just a bit here, but try to keep your right knee stacked over your right ankle. Maybe even lower your right thigh the tiniest bit. Keep lifting up on your left kneecap. Find some looseness through your neck. And then inhale up slightly. Come all the way over so that you're bringing your torso back to the front of your leg. Give yourself that alignment again. And then on an exhale, unravel, warrior two. Sit low. Look beyond your right middle finger. Flip your right palm up, left hand drops, exalted warrior. Keep the deep bend in the right knee. On your next exhale, back to warrior two. This time, sweep your left arm towards the front of the room so that you're in a high lunge. Keep that twist going until you have an open arm lunge twist. Right hand back, left hand forward, thumbs are up. And continue to pull your right hip back. A lot of times it's going to try to pull forward on us. Drop your right hand towards your left thigh. Lift up your left fingertips. Maybe you can send your gaze upward as well. In this twist, find a long, slow breath. Unravel, come back to a high crescent lunge, arms lifted. Exhale, tap your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward, forward fold, top of mat once again. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend both knees pretty deeply. We're going to take a forward fold twist. Start with the left hand directly below your face onto the mat. Start to peel your right fingertips up toward the ceiling, or if your shoulders are not feeling super great, maybe just take your right hand to your right hip. You might begin to straighten the right leg. Reach forward with the crown of your head. Exhales, twist a little more deeply. Send your gaze up toward the right thumb. On your next exhale, release, come all the way down. Right hand comes all the way down to the mat below your face. Left fingertips point up toward the ceiling, or just left hand to left hip. Left leg might become straighter. Inhales, lengthen, crown of your head. Exhales, twist, looking up toward the left thumb perhaps. And then on your next exhale, release it all the way down. Breath in, halfway, lift, look out. Exhale, fold. Make your way to standing on a breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Stay here or bring your arms alongside your body, 3 breaths. When you're ready, inhale, hands lift, chin goes up. Exhale, forward fold, take it all the way down, release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, look out. Exhale, fold. Make your way back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to take a vinyasa, you're welcome to do that. However, never necessary. Always an option to simply step back. Know what is best for your practice today. Know it is the best thing to suit you and the dedication that you have set, the purpose for setting yourself on your mat today. And when you're ready, on a breath in, your left leg comes up and back, long, straight, strong. On an exhale, take your knee to your right elbow or maybe even up to your tricep. Continue to reach your inner elbows forward to give yourself lots of strength. Inhale, take it up and back again, tripod dog. Exhale, cross your body, knee toward the right. Inhale, up and back. Third time, take it all the way across your body. Keep pressing through your hands, keep your hips high. Inhale, up and back. This time on an exhale, place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. We're going to take that down dog hybrid again. So angle the right foot down like warrior 2. And then send your torso over to the right, arms out long, so your upper body is more in a downward facing dog. Continue to reach out. Let your head be heavy. See if you can still share the weight of your body in the right foot. And then as you're ready, lift up about halfway. Realign your torso over your left leg. Get yourself strong and centered. On an exhale, unravel, warrior 2. Sit low. And we'll be here for several breaths. Flip your left palm, drop your right, and extend your hand up toward the ceiling. Exalted warrior. On your next exhale, return back to warrior 2. Sweep your right arm towards the front of the room, pivot on the ball of your back foot. So you're in a high lunge. Continue that twist, open arm twist. Left arm behind you, thumb up, right hand out. And then as you're ready, drop the left hand toward the right thigh. Lift your right fingertips up toward the ceiling. Maybe even send your gaze upward. All right, release your twist, come back to the regular high lunge. Exhale, hands tap down, framing your front foot. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to take a hand to toe pose. So bend your knees really generously. Take your peace fingers around your big toe of each hand to each big toe, thumb to the top of the toenail. Inhale, look out halfway. Again, your knees might be bent, totally fine. Exhale, hinge forward. Shrug your shoulders onto your back. Your elbows might come out to the sides. And then you might start to slowly start to inch your hips upward. Not necessary for your legs to be straight here. All right, release the grip of your toes that you've taken. Breath in, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. On an exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Press through your feet, take your arms up toward the ceiling. And then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Reach your arms out and up toward the ceiling again. Cross at your thumbs, and then bump your hips over to the left, arc over to the right. Scoot your left elbow so it's not coming in front of you. And maybe look beyond your left elbow up toward the ceiling. Inhale, come up. And then switch out the interlacing of your thumbs, bump your hips to the right, torso over to the left. Using the left hand to gently draw the right arm even further, not allowing the right elbow to come too far forward. Inhale, come back up to centered. And then exhale, forward fold. Take it all the way down. Release your palms. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Perhaps even skipping the vinyasa. Deep inhale. Full exhale. We're going to take that sequence. We're going to add on to it. So on an inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands toward the right thumb. We're going to move to the down dog hybrid. So angle the left foot down like warrior two. Take your torso out at an angle. Let your head be heavy. And again, maybe coming up onto finger pads makes this feel better for you. I tend to prefer that. 2 more breaths. And then realign your torso over the right leg. On an exhale, unravel to your warrior two, sit low. Flip your right palm up, drop your left, exalted warrior. Lean back, maintain the deep bend. Exhale back to warrior two. Send your gaze to the long side of your yoga mat, and then wrap your left elbow underneath the right, wrapping once, hands to shoulders, or even twice. All right, so you can stay right here, twisted arms, Garudasana arms, or if you'd like to move with me on an inhale, lift up your fingertips and your gaze up. And then on an exhale, you're gonna curve your back, bring your elbows in towards your belly, bow down. Twice more like that. Inhale, lift up, bring your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Exhale, curl in. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, curl in. Bring yourself right back up. Unravel your arms back to warrior two. On an inhale, sweep your left arm towards the front of the room. Come to your high crescent lunge, pivoting onto the ball of your back foot. Continue the twist. Right arm behind, left hand in front. Drop the right hand to the thigh, reach your left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Continue to have a deep bend in the right knee. All right, inhale, come back to your high lunge. Take your hands to your heart center. Hinge your right hip back, reach forward. Inhale, find a little bit more length, and then on an exhale, take your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Press your palms together, and take your prayer twist. Unravel, come back to your high lunge. Exhale, plant your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward, forward fold. Take your toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Sit your hips low, come to Utkatasana. Fierce pose, chair pose, arms lift. Bring your hands back to your heart center. We're gonna take chair pose, twisted to the right. So inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, twisting to the right. You're taking your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Left knee is coming back in line with the right. So notice if it's starting to creep forward. And just as we've done before, your inhales lengthen, your exhales will twist. Just breathe. Inhale, come back to Utkatasana. Fingertips lift. Exhale, fold, release. Separate your feet, hips width distance. Ragdoll pose. And then release your fingertips to the mat. Breath in, halfway lift, look out. Exhale, fold. Make your way to standing, press through your feet. Take your arms up toward the ceiling. And then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Option to leave your hands here or alongside your body. 3 breaths here. After your third exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog through half sun salutation A or something else. Move whenever you are ready. Give yourself at least one more inhale and exhale. And then on your next breath in, left leg comes up toward the ceiling, and on an exhale, place your foot between your hands, step forward. Down dog lunge. So take the right foot down at an angle, and then move your torso over on the diagonal. Continue to breathe here. It's okay if your booty sticks out a bit. 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, lift up and then realign your torso over the left leg. On an exhale, unravel to your warrior 2. Sit low. Left palm flips up, drop the right hand, exalted warrior. And then return back to the warrior 2. Send your gaze and your shoulders so that they're more in line with the long side of your yoga mat. Right elbow on the bottom. For Garudasana, arms wrapping once or twice. And of course, you have the option to stay here, or if you'd like some more dynamic movement, and move with me. Inhale, lift up. And then on an exhale, pull your elbows in towards your belly, curl forward. Inhale, lift up, maintaining the deep bend. Exhale, draw in. Inhale to lift up. And third time, draw in. Lift up, unravel. Everyone comes back to warrior 2. And then pivot towards the front of the room. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot. High lunge. Continue that cycle. High lunge twist. Left arm is behind you. Drop the hand to your thigh. Lift up your right fingertips. All right, come back to the high lunge. And then bring your hands in towards your heart center. Left hip draws back, hinge forward. Long, deep breath in, get long. Exhale, twist to the left, right elbow to the outside of your thigh. Always an option to drop the back knee down. You always also have the option to take your left hand to your left hip and leave it there rather than pressing your palms together. Notice if the left shoulder is coming forward, draw it back. Continue to breathe, even in the twist. It is possible. All right, then unravel, come back to the high lunge. Arms lift. Exhale, tap your hands down to frame the front foot. Step your right foot forward to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift once again. Exhale, fold. Bring your toes together, heels slightly apart. Sit your bum back, knees toward each other. Utkatasana, fierce pose once again. We're gonna take the twist to the left, so bring your hands back to your heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Again, maybe left hand to the left hip, or press your palms together. Take a glance to your right knee. Notice if it's starting to creep forward. Invite it back. Continue to find length through your spine. Still find Tadasana here. And then momentarily return back to Utkatasana, facing towards the front of your mat. Exhale, fold, release all the way down. Separate your feet out, hips with distance. Ragdoll pose. And then release your fingertips to the mat when you're ready. Breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Make your way to standing. And then bring your hands to your heart center or place them alongside your body. Allow your eye gaze to fixate on one point. And then allow your eyes to close as long as that is not too vulnerable to you and it does not compromise your balance so much that you might fall over. If that's the case, then leave your eyes open and simply focus. Notice the quality of your body right now and the quality of your breath. What is the temperature of your skin? Warmer than typical? Cooler? The same? What does your breathing feel like? Is it constricted? Is it open? Is it light? Is it heavy? And then just begin to notice the quality of your thoughts. Is there chatter? If so, acknowledge it, thank it for showing up, and allow it to leave. Let it go. And then with your eyes opened or closed, take your path back to downward facing dog. You might take a half sun salutation or something else. We will meet in down dog. Move whenever you are ready. Once you reach your downward facing dog, make sure that you give yourself 3 full rounds of breath. And then bring your knees to mat, toes to touch, hips to heels, child's pose, unless this posture does not feel restful to you. And if it does not, please find a posture that does. If you are not in a downward facing, a child's pose rather, bring yourself to something approximating it so that you're sitting on your knees and your torso is forward. We'll all take an inhale about halfway up. And then bring your torso and arms over to the right. Reach your left arm out very far. Again, maybe coming up onto spider fingers. Left hip pulls towards left heel. If your left shoulder is starting to draw up, gently draw it down. Inhale, lift up halfway again. We're going to take it towards center and then cycle over to the other side. Bring your right arm out really, really long. Right hip pulls towards your right heel. Claw at the ground with your fingertips of your right hand. Inhale, come up halfway. Bring your hands and torso back towards the center of your mat, and then rise to your hands and your knees. Realign your shins so that they are parallel with each other. On an inhale, drop your belly, reach your heart forward, send your gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, press into cat, press your hands and knees, arch your back, bring your gaze towards your belly or to your thighs. Inhale, swim your heart forward, coming to a cow pose once again. Exhale, press into the cat. One more round like that. Inhale takes you to cow. Exhale brings you back to cat pose. And then come back to neutral. Place a little bit more weight to the left palm, to your right fingertips up toward the ceiling. And then on an exhale, thread your right arm underneath you so you come onto your right shoulder and onto your right cheek. Bring your left arm out in front of you perhaps. And then if you'd like to continue with the work of twisting, you'll start to take your left fingertips and then tiptoe them over towards the right corner of your mat. You'll notice at some point your head's going to get in the way. Continue to breathe through here. And if you want to facilitate this twist even more, press down to the back of your right hand. Continue to pull your right hip back so it's in line with your left. Acknowledge whatever's coming up. Thank you so much for showing up. Allow it to leave. If you've taken that extension with your left hand, begin to rewind the way that you came in, eventually placing your left hand into the mat below the left shoulder. Press down, feel your right fingertips up toward the ceiling, opening up. And then on an exhale, place your right hand to the mat, shift your weight immediately over to the right side, left fingertips come up. And then thread the left arm underneath, coming onto left shoulder, left ear. And then attempt to mimic what you did on the first side. So if you had the extension right at the right hand, or even moving over, right hand to the left corner of your mat, start to move in that direction. It's never going to be exactly the same. And again, working through everything from the center, where the twist is originating, jostling things up, acknowledging them, let it go. And then as you're ready, start to walk the right hand back to where it began. If you took that extension, press to the right hand, pull your left fingertips back up toward the ceiling, really open up. And then on an exhale, release your hand down to the mat. You're going to roll over backwards. So you're sitting on your bum and come all the way onto your back with knees bent. Cross your right thigh over your left. And then you can leave it here or take full Garudasana legs and then cross right foot to the back of your calf or even tucked all the way around. Normally I'm like, don't tuck it, but tuck it if you like, because we're on our backs here, so it's slightly different. Then take your arms, we're going to take Garudasana arms. So eagle on our backs, right elbow is on the bottom. So again, you might find hands to shoulders is going to be better here. You are in a different orientation. Things don't operate exactly the same way. So if you need to take a different variation, simply take it, be good to your body. Bring your heels up away from the mat. And then you're going to start to bring your fingertips and your toes away from each other, okay? So kind of like stretching out your Garudasana pose. Still reach your hands away from your head, so they're lifting up toward the ceiling. Press your low back down toward the mat. Then on an exhale, bring your elbows and your knees toward each other, curl in. Inhale, reach out once again. Toes and fingertips reaching away from each other. Exhale, pull your elbows and your knees toward each other. Inhale, extend out. And exhale, pull your elbows towards knees. One more extension out. And then unravel your legs, unravel your arms. Take your feet about as wide as your mat. Knock your knees toward each other. Bring your arms out long to the sides. You could take your palms up. Okay, let's try other side. Start to bring your feet back so that they're hips distance from each other. Cross your left thigh over your right, wrapping once or maybe wrapping twice. And if even this cross is uncomfortable, you could simply cross your ankle over your thigh. So make your choices. Again, we're on our backs. It's a totally different experience here. We do want to try to keep our hips both on the mat best we can. And then Garudasana arms. This time, the left elbow is on the bottom. Wrap it once, wrapping twice, up to you. Bring your feet away from the mat. And then bring your toes and your fingertips away from each other. Exhale, elbows and knees toward each other, curl in. Inhale, draw them apart. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, draw them apart from each other. Exhale, pull in. And then create as much length as you can, even in this twisted pose. And then loosen it, unravel, feet wider side, a little bit toward the sides of your mat, knock your knees toward each other. Maybe allow your eyes to close. Simply breathe. Option to place one hand on heart, one hand on belly, or any other hand placement that makes the most sense to you right now. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Offer yourself wind relieving pose, so taking your hands to your shins and you rock your from side to side. We're going to make our way to a downward facing dog, so it's up to you how you'd like to get there. You could roll over on one side and just press up. Or if you're feeling all kinds of energetic and you've got lots of stuff to burn off, maybe many things to let go, you can rock up and down the length of your spine. Cross at your ankles, take your hands to the mat, and then hop back to your downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, we are going to take a pigeon pose. If you know this pose is not the best for you in this orientation, then flip on your back and just take it in a different orientation with figure 4. So if you're taking pigeon with me, inhale, right leg comes up and back, and then on an exhale, place your knee towards your right wrist, cross your ankle across your body, drop the left leg down, walk the leg back. Make sure your right knee is a little bit wider than your hip. Inhale, look up, slide your shoulder blades behind you, maybe even hover your fingertips away from the mat. And then on an exhale, you're going to make your way forward to your pigeon pose, either coming to a prop, forearms, or further down onto your mat. You have the option to stay here in your pigeon pose. If you would like to take a twisted variation, you're going to inhale, lift up halfway. Slide your left arm underneath the right one, like we were taking that thread the needle pose. And then you're going to reach your right hand up toward the ceiling, twist at your elbow and your shoulder and your wrist, and then drop your hand behind you, maybe even using your peace fingers to find your big toe. Still find activity, especially through the left leg that is extended. If you've taken the twisted variation, slowly unwind yourself from it. And we'll all press up away from the pigeon pose. Tuck your back toes behind you, lift up the back knee, and then step back to downward facing dog. If you need some other movements, please take them. And then on an inhale, left leg comes up and back. Exhale, pigeon pose left side, knee to left wrist. And then pivoting the ankle across your body, walk the right leg out just a bit. Take your hands more alongside your hips, check your work. Send your gaze up, shoulder blades onto your back, maybe hover your fingertips away from the mat, offering yourself this back bend. And then exhale for your pigeon pose. Just as we did on the last side, if you'd like to take the twisted variation and lift up a bit, slide your right arm underneath you, palm is up. Take your left hand up toward the ceiling, twist your elbow and your wrist, and then drop your hand behind you, maybe to grasp your big toe. If you've taken a twisted variation, begin to unwind yourself. And we'll come back up, pressing your hands into the mat, tuck your back toes, lift up the back knee, and then step back to downward facing dog. You have the opportunity to take a final vinyasa of this class if you would like. And then from your down dog, rise to your toes, come to the top of a plank pose, and then yourself completely onto your mat. And then flip over onto your back. Just flop over. Pull your right knee in towards your chest, pull your right knee to the left, supine twist, 3 breaths. Bring your head and knee back up to center. Extend the right leg out. Pull your left knee in and twist in the opposite direction. Once you get to where you're going, 3 breaths. After that final exhale, come back to center. Bring your knees in towards you. Wrap your arms around your shins or your hands to your shins, and then pull yourself in close. Give yourself this embrace. Give yourself a lot of acknowledgement and gratitude for all the work that you've done. Every single thing that has led up to this moment that has allowed you to do this. And then on an exhale, release back. The final posture of this class is Shavasana. If there's any other poses that you'd like to take, any movements to make this practice complete, to make your Shavasana more still, then please do the things that you need to do. And in your Shavasana, begin to feel the bottoms of your feet softening out, your ankles relaxing. Allow your shins to relax and your calves, your kneecaps to drop. Your upper legs becoming soft once again, your belly heavy. Breathing becoming slower, less labored. Shoulders dropping down toward the mat, relaxed through your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, backs of hands, palms, fingertips. Feeling your mat supporting you up through your back, relaxed through the neck and through the throat. Your bottom jaw separated from the top. Tongue rests away from the roof of your mouth. Sunken cheeks. Relaxed back of skull. Heavy eyes underneath closed eyelids. Allow yourself to let go. Slowly draw in a deeper breath. And as you're ready, roll over onto one side, pausing for several moments. Acknowledging this transition from corpse pose into the rest of your day, the rest of your life. Recognizing the closing out of this year. When you're ready, make your way to a seated posture for a very brief reflection and meditation. On an inhale, bring your arms out and up. Palms press above your head, and on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and then down to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart, acknowledging that what you know. Allowing yourself to travel through life without stickiness, allowing yourself to let go of that which does not serve you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and helping me to deepen my own. I'm eternally grateful for you. In the name of the highest good, namaste.